The NBA trade deadline is coming up next Thursday, and could Matisse Thybulle be on the move? That's what we're talking about here on Philadelphia 76ers Now. Appreciate all of you for rocking with us. I'm your host, Chase Sr. So a couple of teams here in the mix potentially for Matisse Thybulle, Sacramento Kings, and another team that we're going to talk about later on in today's show. The Kings are among the teams to express interest in Thybulle ahead of the NBA trade deadline, according to a couple of reports out there, as are the reigning NBA champions. Again, we'll explore that coming up. As for the Sacramento Kings here, one of the surprise teams in the NBA up to this point this year, Mike Brown has come in with the roster that is very, very talented, but he's been able to maximize that basketball squad, and they need some defense. And that's what Thybulle would bring to Sacktown. Marc Stein, longtime NBA insider with this. Sacramento is said to be monitoring the availability of Philadelphia's Matisse Thybulle as the Kings unexpectedly holding the West number 3 seed after a league record 16 consecutive seasons out of the playoffs ponder the pursuit of a more defensive-minded option on the perimeter. Now, Kyle Neubeck, a Philly voice, also discussed Thybulle being on the move as well, so we have to show some love to a local Philadelphia legend in Neubeck, but this much is clear. You know, Thybulle might need to go because he's not in this rotation right now, and the Kings might not be a bad fit for him. I like Thybulle. I've been a proponent of him as a basketball player. I believe in his potential. I like his defensive acumen. Unfortunately, though, when you talk about 3-and-D, that's what he's supposed to be. He's the 3-and-D without the 3, and he's been kind of in and out of the Sixers rotation. So if you can get a player who's going to be more so in the rotation for Philadelphia, as they have one of the best rosters in the NBA, hottest team in the NBA right now, who helps you in the playoffs this year. Again, all that matters is trying to get past the second round for the first time since 2001 and winning an NBA championship. You can't continue to wait for Matisse Thybulle to, at some point, maybe be able to shoot the basketball. It's been the biggest thing he's had to work on since coming in to the NBA. And while he's hit some shots here and there, it hasn't been consistent enough. And while I love him being a 2-time all-defensive team member, you need more offense on this team, and another player might make more sense. Now, with the trade deadline coming up a week from Thursday, anything happens with the Sixers, we have you covered here on 76ers Now. I told you we were going to start ramping up our coverage. I've been so busy covering the NFL, but with the NBA season really getting on a heater, you can expect more coverage here. Philly fans, show us some love and subscribe to the channel today. Keith Pompey, Philadelphia Inquirer, also with some more on Thybulle. League source confirmed that the interest from the Kings, saying that Kings coach Mike Brown is a fan of Thybulle, who would add a defensive presence to Sacramento's starting lineup. The Kings are 28-21, surprisingly sit third place in the West, or pondering upgrades for a postseason push after a record 16 straight seasons without a playoff appearance. So basically, a lot of the same things that Marc Stein had to say. And Thybulle this year, he'll give you steals, he'll give you deflections, he'll alter passes in the passing lane. He can even block some shots. Defensive wizardry last year against Steph Curry, and a couple of really good wings throughout his NBA career. Those are the pluses. The minuses, less than 44% from the field, 33% from long range. And my take on Thybulle just doesn't do enough right now to help the Sixers contend for a title right now. And some of you might say, okay, but how about in the playoffs when you're going up against a Jason Tatum? You're going up against a Jimmy Butler, a Giannis, somebody else. You're going to need a defensive-laden lineup. That's why you brought in P.J. Tucker, and P.J. Tucker ain't going anywhere, and P.J. Tucker is a better shooter than Matisse Thybulle. Again, all that matters this year for Philadelphia. Are you in or out on Thybulle as a player on this roster for Philly? I for in, O for out. Once again, let us know down in the comment section. Get in the shoes of Daryl Morey and be the general manager. Before we get to another team interested in Matisse, Rocket Money, sponsoring today's show. Start optimizing your finances. Cancel your unused, unwanted, and unnecessary subscriptions with the tap of a button, and you can also keep track of your monthly subscriptions. With Rocket Money, you view all of your subscriptions on one screen. You stay on top of upcoming bills, and they will cancel unwanted subscriptions for you. This is an app that is really so easy to use, and it's also a free download. And most Americans think they spend about $80 per month on subscriptions when the actual total cost closer to 200 plus. You could be wasting hundreds of dollars every month, hundreds of dollars every year with subscriptions you don't even know about. So lower your bills, start saving money, get started. It's Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. RocketMoney.com/NBA now. That link is available in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. Now, on top of the Sacramento Kings, another team out west in the state of California, also said to be interested in Matisse Thybulle. It's the reigning NBA champions in the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are looking for defensive upgrades, and they have kept tabs on Thybulle, according to reports, and Liberty Ballers really did expand on that, saying the Warriors, who have been the face of space and face. Holy crap, let me try that again. The Golden State Warriors, who have been the face of space and pace, there we go, are an interesting suitor for Matisse Thybulle. They have plenty of offense to make up for his defensive shortcomings with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, as well as Jordan Poole. Odds are the Warriors are seeking out a player to play the Gary Payton II role this year for good reason. Huge part of their title run last year was GP2. Losing him in free agency has hurt. He got paid, though, with the Portland Trail Blazers. We've seen Thybulle play a similar role in Philly last year as a cutter, where he managed to shoot 70.4% around the basket. As of right now, Warriors' 16th best defense in the NBA. And when you look at the Warriors, right, Thybulle can play that Gary Payton II role pretty well. GP2, maybe not as long and as tall as Matisse Thybulle, but both are leapers. Both are really good athletes. Both can run the floor. GP2 did improve his shooting to a certain degree where he was respectable and you weren't working with odd numbers offensively, going 4-on-5, sometimes 3-on-5 if your big can't shoot, like the Sixers have sometimes had to do this year. Thybulle on that team, I want to see him do well. And Thybulle on that team could work pretty well in that GP2 role. He locks down the opposing wings. It takes some pressure off of Klay Thompson, who's getting a little bit older, and Steph Curry, where he can conserve some energy for his offensive prowess to do their thing, and Thybulle can just hound wings all throughout the day and play in that role pretty well for a team that doesn't need shooting, whereas Philadelphia kind of needs some shooting. As for the trade ID here, though, pretty interesting, right? Matisse Thybulle to the Warriors. In exchange, we bring back Villanova legend Donte DiVincenzo, who had a great NCAA tournament run with Jay Wright en route to the national championship a few years ago. Sixers also get a 2025 second-round pick, which Daryl Morey probably doesn't care about. DiVincenzo, solid player, very bouncy, more of an offensive player than Thybulle. Not the defensive player that Thybulle is, but he can defend at a pretty good level, and I think that he'd be a good fit on the Sixers. 8 points per game this year, 4.5 rebounds, shooting 41% from the floor. The big number, though, 39% from distance with a little bit of volume there. And DiVincenzo back to Philly, embrace debate. Look, I went to Temple. I understand that Temple, LaSalle, Penn, St. Joe's, Drexel, all within city limits. Villanova's on the main line. But if you're a Philadelphia basketball fan, I guess you root for Villanova as well. So DiVincenzo back to Philly. Let's ride. I actually would be cool with it. That's a player that I wouldn't have hated signing with Philadelphia in NBA free agency. Which team should the Sixers trade Thybulle to? Is it Sacramento? Is it the Warriors? Let us know by typing either SAC or GSW down in the comment section. And another reminder to subscribe to the show, youtube.com/76ers TV. We're really going to be increasing our coverage here on 76ers now that my NFL workload is lightening just a bit and the NFL season is winding down with the NBA season starting to really increase in volume. So appreciate all of you for watching today's show and keep it locked here for the best Sixers coverage.